came across a story out of Italy this past week where a 22-week-old infant was found on a table after a botched abortion at a hospital in the town of Rossano. And the case has kind of reopened the whole controversy of abortion in that country, which is a devoutly Roman Catholic country, yet abortion is legal up to 22 weeks. A priest found this baby in this hospital. He was making rounds and he thought he heard some noises in a room and went in and there was the baby. He pulled off a blanket and it was moving. They took it to intensive care where it lived for about a day and then finally died. This again goes against the law in Italy, which says that if a baby is born alive after a botched abortion, efforts should be made to revive it. So even though the infant survived the botched abortion, it did indeed die the next day. The police are investigating this case, which I find quite interesting. We have dozens of these cases across the country in America, and you barely hear a peep about it. But they are investigating this in Italy because the law does say that there's an obligation for the doctors to try to preserve the life of these children. Health Minister Eugenia Roccella said an inquiry will be held this week, and they're going to talk to the staff and find out who exactly decided to just put this live, breathing, moving baby on a table to die. A spokesman for a British-based pro-life alliance said there cannot be anybody in the world who is not horrified by a story like this. I can name someone who would not be horrified by this, a certain politician who voted against the Born Alive Infant Protection Act of 1998, and that was then Senator Barack Obama, who is now our president. Another story regarding abortion, an 11-year-old girl in Mexico was raped by her stepfather, and she had dozens of women coming to her door, knocking on her door, and you can guess why. They were begging her to leave that area where she lives and go to another area of Mexico to get an abortion. There are also people from other countries, including America, at her door, giving her plane tickets and telling her to come to America where an abortion could be provided. I can't imagine what organization that might be. She's already decided she wants to keep her baby. She wants to be a mother to this baby. She had been sick for a while, vomiting and very fatigued, and her mother finally said, "What's wrong?" And she told her, she said, "Mother, I think I'm pregnant," and told her she was raped by the stepfather. The mother immediately took the girl to the police and was outraged, of course. The stepfather is in jail, has been arrested. But the mother of this girl says she has been pressured unbelievably by various women's groups to have an abortion. There have been a few that have encouraged her to give the baby up for adoption, but most of them have been women who are coming to her and saying, you need to get an abortion. I always find it interesting when any woman can call themselves pro-choice, but yet turn around and go after this young girl and pretty much demand that she have an abortion. That's not being pro-choice. This is her choice. She says she's going to name her baby. She knows it's a girl already. She's named her Alejandra. And the mother and daughter say they're going to love this baby and take care of it, which, of course, the pro-abortion movement cannot possibly understand why any woman would have such a respect for life. Also in China, China's trying to figure out how to eliminate, not quite eliminate, but scale back the one-child policy. I mentioned this last year about the problem they're having with the male population increasing so much that it's going to create some havoc on the country. They're trying to figure out a way to encourage women to maybe have one more baby, but yet they don't want to have this big baby boom occur in the next generation. In just 10 years, the 20 to 24 age group population is expected to be half of today's 124 million, a shift that's going to hurt them economically with competition, global competition. And the aging in China is going to climb from 12% to 17%. So you're going to have all these aged and not enough young people to take care of them. Likewise, they are trying to find out if indeed, as many have reported, many Chinese are aborting their first child if it is a female. The practice is illegal, but obviously they know what's going on because the male-female ratio right now is 107 males to every 100. So China is beginning to see the problem that has now occurred due to their one-child policy, and they want to increase the birth rate without creating a gigantic baby boom. Also, regarding women, many of you heard that Iran is now saying that if a woman has a suntan, she will be arrested because that implies that she has uncovered her skin, and a male might have seen that skin. So therefore, if you are perceived to have a suntan, you will be promptly arrested. And that same week, Iran had a delegate named to the Women's Rights Commission, which is a total joke, as we know. Then we also had the Islamist cleric who said that the earthquakes and the hurricanes and everything else are being caused by women in Iran who are dressed inappropriately. So I love hearing stories like this, because I think American women, especially feminist and pro-abortion women, forget what a fantastic country we live in, the greatest country in the world, where yes, you can go get a suntan, and yes, you can give birth to your child, to as many children as you want, and you can go out in public with a short sleeve shirt on. And I just think we forget how blessed we are in this country, and I think it's an atrocity that the UN is putting Iran on the Women's Rights Committee. Also, I heard this past week, the big health care bill, which is costing so much money, there's one small little facet of it that they forgot to incorporate into their attempt to make it budget neutral, or deficit neutral, excuse me, and make everybody happy with it. And that is this, that as you know, the IRS is indeed going to be responsible for executing the enforcement of health care, that is requiring that every individual purchases health care insurance, and they will be fined 2.5% of their gross income or $695, whichever is higher. So 4 million Americans could be subject to these penalties. The problem is that they, of course, are going to have to add about 6,000 new IRS agents, and the programs that have to be put in place to enforce it, along with all of these new employees and their benefits, etc. So now they're saying there's going to be an additional $5 to $10 billion over the next 10 years that they have to find just to administer this new health care law. So that projection has fired up more activists who have been saying for many years that the IRS should be downsized or abolished. Crazy stuff. Speaking of crazy, I came across this great website